Unlike other war games, PUBG is not directed towards one specific war that took place some time back in history, like the case with Call of Duty and Battlefield. For that reason, there's a vast array of weapons, ancient and modern, that you can use to wreak havoc onto 99 other players. For instance, you can use weapons that were developed during the 19th century such as the Winchester 94, or modern guns such as the Scar L, which is one of the most technologically advanced assault rifles. In this video, we will look at the history of some of these weapons, and hopefully this time, I will cover your favorite one. Number 1. The OTS-14 Groza. I have to start with this rifle because you guys bombarded the comment section of my previous video with this notorious weapon. The Groza, also known in English as Thunderstorm, is a bullpup assault rifle that was developed by the Central Design Bureau of Sporting and Hunting Arms of Tula, Russia during the early 1990s. The weapon was specifically designed to suit the needs for the Russian Special Forces to use in urban warfare and was utilized for the first time in 1999 during an anti-terrorist campaign in Chechnya. Since then, the weapon has pretty much died out and its production ceased as a result. Nonetheless, the story is completely different in Battlegrounds because it's actually one of the most sought rifles thanks to its high damage rate, which can turn the tables around, particularly in the final stages of the match. Number 2. The DP-28. The original name of this weapon is the Degityaryov machine gun, named after its designer and renowned Russian engineer Vasily Degityaryov. However, the Red Army soldiers informally called it the DP because the disc-shaped magazine resembled a record player. The DP-28 was the primary light machine gun of the Soviet troops during World War II and was also equipped in aircrafts and pretty much all Soviet tanks. Despite its effectiveness and large magazine capacity, there were lots of downsides to this weapon, such as the ease with which the pan magazines would damage while being carried, and of course the difficulty and the time it takes to reload the weapon, which is already a meme among PUBG players. Number 3. The QBU. The QBU is without a doubt one of the most underrated guns in PUBG. It's a rifle that was developed by the Chinese company Norinco for the People's Liberation Army in 1997, and it's still being used in China until this very day. The QBU's story can be traced back to the Sino-Vietnamese War back in 1979, when the Chinese forces entered northern Vietnam and captured several cities near the border. During that brief war, the Chinese forces managed to capture samples of the Soviet-designed Dragunov sniper rifle, then copied and perfected it throughout the years until it resulted in the QBU-88 that we know today. Number 4. The AUG A3. Also known as the Steyr AUG, is an assault rifle that was designed by Austrian arms manufacturer Steyr Daimler Puch. The AUG went into development in the early 70s with the intention to replace the Austrian FAL because the weight and recoil of the latter were difficult for smaller shooters to manage. By 1978, the AUG was officially adopted by the Austrian army, and just a few years later, many other countries including Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and even Saudi Arabia also adopted it for their national forces. In-game, the AUG is very easy to handle as it has low recoil and high muzzle velocity, but it's a bit too difficult to find because it's an airdrop only weapon. Number 5. The M24. The M24 was developed by American firearms manufacturer Remington Arms Company in 1986 and was officially adopted as the standard sniper rifle for the US Army 2 years later. The M24's history begins with its older brother, the M40, which came into being during the Vietnam War when the Marine Corps decided they needed a standard sniper rifle to use in the battlefield. In PUBG, the M24 is pretty much identical to the Kar 98K, with the only difference being in the reload time. Being loaded via magazines, tactical reloads will be faster when using the M24 compared to the Kar's 1x1 bullet reload. Number 6. The Mini 14. This lightweight rifle was first introduced in 1973 by America's largest firearm manufacturer, Ruger. The name Mini 14 was coined because it resembles a smaller version of the M14, which was the standard rifle for the US military in 1959. In game, the Mini 14 has the highest muzzle velocity and low bullet drop, as well as a larger magazine capacity, making it suitable for situations where quick follow-up shots are required at long range. Number 7. The MK14 Enhanced Battle Rifle. The history of this rifle began in the year 2000 when the United States Navy SEALs requested to have a more compact version of the M14 for their special operations. Since then, the rifle has seen widespread use not only within the special operations units, but also within the US military thanks to its ergonomics, low recoil, and low cost, as well as having the option of various optics and accessories. In battlegrounds, the MK14 can be seen as a bigger version of the SKS, dealing more damage at the cost of more recoil. Nonetheless, the MK14 is definitely the more practical option because you can switch to an automatic fire mode at any time you want, enabling you to deliver a huge amount of damage for different situations. Did I mention your favorite weapon? Let me know down in the comment section below. For more, make sure to like the video and subscribe to GameLution.